Frankenstein's got a journal, Wolfman has a vlog. Swamp Thing tweets from down in his bog. Pete and Nash read it all, and now they're trying to see what's going on with these Vampire Diaries. Hello, welcome to the Vampire Diaries, the Vampire Diaries, the television show, podcast where a guy who has never seen the aforementioned television show watches the series with a superfan. I am the titular Petey. Let's just say I put the Petey in Vampire, but please call me Pete. And I'm here with my co-host and co-parent, Ash. Hey, Ash.
Hey, Pete.
Hey, Ash. We got a letter in.
We did?
Mm-hmm. Okay, here it is. I'll read it right now. Yes, Frankenstein monsters do go poop and pee. And it's signed by Frank N. Stein?
Nuh-uh.
No, but that was a contentious point last episode, right?
I thought I was never going to hear about that again.
Nope, gotta bring it up in this moment.
It got me all excited, like someone actually wrote to us.
Oh, just the fan mail, Ash. It comes in just like large bags tied at the top with twine.
Oh, it's weird I haven't seen them around the house.
I know, I go through them, all the fan letters. And just money. Sometimes people just send cash.
There's bags of money.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's been great.
You're really holding out.
Mm-hmm.
You better share the wealth.
Okay. But yeah, so thank you for writing in. We love letters.
Thank you.
We love to hear about
Mr. Stein.
Yeah, thank you, Frank N. Stein. Yeah, that's good stuff. Hey, we just watched Season 1, Episode 13, Children of the Damned. What's that guy's name? Gordon Ramsay? Damn.
This meat is rare.
This meat is rar. Damn.
That's a shame.
Hey, but we're not talking about that show. We're talking about the Vampire Diaries. We're talking about, Episode 13, spooky.
It's very good.
It's good. The number 13, though, is what I was...
Yeah, 13, spooky number.
I said we should skip it, like how some hotels skip the 13th floor.
That would be weird if we skipped it. We'd be so confused.
Yeah, we would.
Or at least you would be.
I would be very confused. I would be like, I never got to meet Giuseppe. You want to talk about this episode?
Yeah, let's do it. Spooky number 13.
The cold open, Ash. Flashback to 1864. Hey, and you know what? This kind of reminded me of the very first scene of the series.
Oh, really?
Wasn't that? They were coming home from Dave Matthews Band or something, and it was guy and a gal. They were driver one and...
Oh, yeah. No, yeah, it mirrors the, the vampire attack in the car in the middle of the street.
In the very first episode, I believe.
You're right, but this one takes place in 1864.
Yeah. A couple hundred years earlier.
Yeah, they had the same trope, these vamps.
Yeah. Carriage, not up-to-date
cool
automobile.
Car. Yeah.
Driving down the road. Catherine stops the carriage. She bites the driver and the other guy, and she's teaching young Damon the vamp life. Mm-hmm. So, and also, it was Damon in that first scene. Was it not? Mm-hmm. So there we go. I learned it from you.
Yeah. I didn't actually get that parallel from there, but yeah, it's very much like the opening of the first episode.
And when I was watching this, I was thinking, must be fun for Dobrev to play these two characters. Mm-hmm. They're very different. She gets to be very vampy and silly and biting people's necks as Catherine.
Yeah, I wrote down too that she's so awesome as Catherine. I like her as Catherine a lot, and how she gets really flirty and really like in charge, and she has amazing hair and these awesome clothes. Mm-hmm. I love it.
Past guest niece Mia would agree with you, right?
Yeah, Catherine is cool.
And then Damon, timid Damon. I like timid Damon. He's like, what? You gotta, what? Huh?
Mm-hmm. Little human Damon.
Yep. And then there was some kissing, Ash.
There was a lot of kissing.
Damon and Catherine kissing. Uh-oh.
Well, that's the first time that Nina Dobrev kisses Damon Ian Somerhalder in the show. In that scene.
Wow.
As Catherine.
Wonder how much they practiced. After the logo, waking up Stefan and Elena in bed. Mm-hmm. Damon creeps in on them.
Yeah, he's just like, hey guys, let's go figure out how we're going to get this grimoire. And they're like, we're kind of chilling.
Yeah, we just woke up, bro. Damon wants Elena, to get the Gilbert journal.
Yeah, so they can find the grimoire.
Would you say that while you're reading the Gilbert journal, you would like to drink an I couldn't even do it. An
hard.
Arnold Palmer?
I know. I made that joke last pod, I think.
I know.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's tough.
I cannot drink an Arnold Palmer while looking at the Gilbert journal.
I know. That's the new she sells seashells.
Yeah. Oof.
Damon in this scene has a mullet tail
He does.
flipping out of his hair.
It was really distracting and not cute. But when Damon is in the flashback 1864, his hair is gorgeous. It's like all curly and like in his face and kind of long.
Yeah.
But I wonder if like in between shooting these scenes, they left that little flip up as like because they needed it for this scene.
I'm wondering
if it like got carried over.
That's what I'm wondering. Like, is this both straight up his hair in both scenes without help, without some kind of, what's it called, extension or something?
Yeah, I think they just were like, okay, we got to flip it up and curl it and the blah, blah, blah. And then when they made it all straight, they couldn't like get that flip gone.
Yeah, and then he probably got a little chop next episode or something.
Yeah, I really like his hair 1864. I think he should rock that look like in real life.
I'm sure he has.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, both Damon and Stefan are super hot in 1864.
Whoa.
So Catherine, she knew what she was doing.
They do a sheet transition, Ash.
What do you mean?
First, it's Elena and Stefan in the sheets.
Yes.
Pull up the sheets. I thought it was silly, like they were getting all the way under the covers. And I was like, this is silly. And then I was like, oh, it's to do this transition from pulling the sheets down, and it's Catherine and Damon.
It's Catherine and Damon, 1864, in the sheets.
Jeez Louise. From, I even said from Stelena to Datharin. Do they say Datharin?
I don't know. I would have to look up that ship name.
Emily Bennett is in the house. And tell Mr. Salvatore, Catherine's like, tell Mr. Salvatore something that I'm leaving or something like that. Mm-hmm. And Emily Bennett's like, which one? And then both lol.
Yeah, they're both like, because you are making out with both of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
Both the bros. And they obviously know about it, and they seem pretty cool about it, actually.
Yeah. Pearl. We meet Pearl.
Mm-hmm.
She brings over some liquid vervain.
But yeah, it was bold for her to be like, here, Catherine, try this vervain. And then, or here, try this. And then it turned out to be vervain. Yeah. She could have been like, hey, this is going to be poisonous.
They're selling this at the medicine shoppy, she said. That's how we knew there was 2 P's and an E on there.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see Anna like in the background. I was like, is Anna Pearl's daughter? Mm-hmm. Which I guess so, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or like, she doesn't really say like that's her mom.
Maybe it's
outright, but like, these vampires take care of each other and like bring them under each other's wings. So I feel like she's at least her vamp mom, if not her birth bio mom.
Yes. Like drag queen's drag daughter.
Yeah.
Maybe it's her vamp daughter. Mm-hmm. Very similar. It like in the drag scene, like a more established drag queen takes a young queen under their wing. Mm-hmm. And it's a drag mom and a drag daughter.
Yeah.
It teaches them how to do makeup and stuff like that. Kind of the same in the vamp world.
Yeah, you get turned to a vamp, you need someone to help you out.
How do you know you can drink hot coffee? How do you know...
vervain is going to kill you.
Yeah.
Or weaken you or whatever.
Any good drag queen vamps, Ash? That'd be fun.
I feel like you would know the answer to that question.
Gotta look into that. Maybe that's the next show. Oh, hey, this episode, I feel like they were doing a lot of matchy transitions. They did the sheet transition, then it was like Anna from 1864 to Anna present day.
Yeah, I think they're definitely drawing parallels between the past and the present.
Yeah. Children of the Damned. Mm-hmm. Ben, the bartender, lives with Anna in the hotel. Mm-hmm. Motel, Holiday Inn. He's a new vamp.
Yeah, but last pod we were talking about when or how he got turned.
Yeah, and we learn now. Mm-hmm. But also, we do learn that he's kind of dumb. Like, it was hinted at that he was dumb, or just kind of like didn't get his life going really. But here's where it's illustrated. He like opens up the curtain and it burns him. He's like, oh, I keep forgetting.
Yeah.
Like maybe that's what happened with his college applications as well.
That's true. It seems like he's just kind of like going through the motions like, oh, ho, ho, whatever, about everything.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm a vampire, duh.
Yeah. Anna turned Ben because he was sad and lacked purpose.
And he needed her, she said.
I hope no vamps come after me for those reasons.
Uh-oh, watch out.
Yikes. I said, I bet he was doing okay.
Yeah.
Handsome bartender that everyone knows.
I know, I feel like that was Anna's just lie. She was like, well, I probably just wanted you around.
Yeah, she was like gaslighting him, like, no, you were sad.
Right.
You weren't doing anything. You were just a bartender. Starting to sound a little bit like Caroline.
I know. Yeah, but he's like, oh, okay. Like, he just takes that as, that's fine.
Yeah. He doesn't seem that
He's not that
whelmed about the whole thing.
He's not that bothered by it at all.
No. He's like, oh.
Not like the weatherman who was was very upset about being a vampire and could not deal at all.
Well, the weatherman, Logan Fell, had no vamp daddy or anything.
No, he needed one.
But Anna is being a vamp mama, I guess. Mm-hmm. Sugar mama. The funny thing about Stefan, I've said, I totally believe him as his character. This guy, Paul Wesley, he's acting up a storm.
I know, he's just great.
I believe his ass is 162 years old. I was just watching it being like...
He's a good actor.
I haven't seen him in anything else, I don't think.
Well, except that he worked at it wasn't the bait shop. It was the place where they served breakfast on the OC.
Right. Besides the OC.
What was that called? I can never remember the names of things.
Well, it was the one where Ryan worked later, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so funny that the OC crossed over with this so much. Mm-hmm. Is Johnny going to show up at some point?
That would be so annoying.
Riding a skateboard over through Mystic Falls, like, hey guys, I'm about to go pro.
No, he would be.
Any ladies?
He was so depressed for like ever and ever and ever on that show.
Any ladies want to come with me?
I would not.
Freaking Johnny.
I would not want Johnny.
You know who I would believe in this show though? Oliver.
Oh yeah, Oliver would be great.
He would.
We saw Oliver in a commercial the other day. We were like,
Oliver's ripping it up.
All right, well, if you haven't watched the OC and you like the Vampire Diaries, you definitely need to go back and watch the OC. It's a completely different topic, but if you like the vibe of the show, I think you would like the OC as well.
You know what I was thinking about, Ash?
The teen drama. What?
I was thinking about how this show is not scary. This is a teen soap drama with vampires in it. It's not a horror show.
It's not.
Just like Twilight is not a horror movie by any means. It's a romantic teen
it's
series.
not scary. There are parts where you're like, oh no, what's going to happen to this character? But you're not like literally scared in your house.
I know, but why can't there be like a good horror for teens?
I feel like there is, we just haven't watched it.
I mean, I tried to watch the Scream series. It wasn't grabbing me. But maybe that's my fault.
I don't know. Maybe that's something that we can do is look and see what other teen horror type things are out there.
For sure.
Let us know.
If they made Christopher Pike type or Fear Street into a more like rated R type thing, would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
Stefan and Elena looking through pics and artifacts. Mm-hmm. They see a funny picture of Jonathan Gilbert. He kind of looks like he's like, huh, the cameras exist?
Yeah, they're trying to figure out where this journal is.
And they see, I was like, this was a Pete-diction mid-show. I was like, that's a vamp muzzle for sure.
Yeah, they look at it and they like put it away real quick.
Yeah, that's scary. It's like something Jigsaw would think up.
Yeah, it did look like something like that. You just said it wasn't scary, and then 1 second later, you were like, that was scary.
Did I say it was scary or was it cool? I got to listen back.
You said scary.
Okay, well, that was the scariest part so far. Alaric.
You couldn't even read his name.
Alaric is reading...
Alaric Saltzman.
The Salt Man. Alaric is reading the diary. Cut to flashback.
Mm-hmm. Love a flashback.
Stefan's... Do you really love these flashbacks? That's
really
what you
do.
live for in here?
I really love him because it gives so much information.
Do we get any flash forwards, Ash? She can't tell. I bet that means yes. Like the OC, so many flash forwards. All right. Giuseppe. Okay, Giuseppe Salvatore. Mm-hmm. The OG.
Yep. The OG dad of these bros.
The dad of these bros, Ash.
Mm-hmm.
Hanging out with Lockwood and Gilbert.
Mm-hmm.
What a friggin'...
The founding families.
Yeah. Jeez Louise. They're hanging out. Alaric is copying the journal, so it's jumping back and forth.
Right. Yeah, back and forth. Yeah, Alaric's at school making a photocopy of this journal so he can give it back to Jeremy because he can't, like, keep his journal forever even though he wants to read it and examine it.
Even though we do know it's like, to him, remember? It's like, or, yeah. Anna stalks in.
Yeah.
You know, she's a vamp.
Mm-hmm.
Alaric has the stake gun, Ash.
What'd you think about that?
I said, Pete-diction has come to fruition.
Yeah, I know you predict, you're like, he's probably some type of vampire hunter, and I was just like, how did he know to say that?
Yep.
You predicted that straight off the bat. No, that was a really good Pete-diction.
Yay. It's a cool, look, I thought it was a very cool invention. He shoots a stake at Stefan, and Stefan catches it.
Yeah. And on my note was that Stefan looked really hot when he caught that steak. He looked so hot and also so mad.
Well, you do like attractive men when they're mad.
Sure.
That's your whole thing.
I like attractive men when they're attractive.
Yeah, what I was saying about the Salts Man, he's a... Well, never mind. He's an assault man now, but... Because he's assaulting these vamps. Mm-hmm. All right, that's bad. But what I was going to say is... Cool invention in theory, but obviously we see it does not work, and it's probably the first time he shot it at a real vamp.
Yeah, he probably didn't know like how fast vampires could move.
Yeah, so cool idea. He's an amateur vamp hunter, obviously.
Well, yeah, I think he admits that his only interaction with vampires before this, what we've seen here, is that when Damon was attacking his wife, Isabel, and then when later he was outside the school and trying to get in the mix. But yeah, he's never like really used his contraptions, so he doesn't know if they work. No.
Cool thought though. Good job. Good for him. Didn't really work out. It's a good thing that he shot at Stefan.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Good thing he shot at Stefan, because if it was Damon or Anna or anyone else, that would have been no good. But Stefan is not trying to just kill people randomly.
No. Stefan kicks him into all the chairs and says, have a seat.
Yeah, that was so funny. Alaric was already basically sitting, and then he just had to bend his knees like 1 inch, and then he was sitting in the chair.
Have a seat. We get some background about Alaric's wife. A vamp killed her. While Alaric was talking, Anna whooshed around, got the journal. Mm-hmm. Thankfully, he made those copies.
Yep.
Making copies. You know about that? Old SNL sketch?
I think so.
Rob Schneider making copies.
It sounds familiar, but maybe just because you said it.
Mr. Gilbert talks to Pearl about the comet.
In the flashback.
Yeah, there's some comet talk.
Mm-hmm. The comet, the ring, the grimoire.
Comet, ring, grimoire. Mm-hmm. All the stuff you need for a successful...
For that spell.
Mm-hmm. A recipe of sorts. Salvatore bros talking to Dad. Giuseppe. Mm-hmm. Damon left the Confederacy because he didn't like what they were all about.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I know.
The dad is like, I don't like that.
The dad is mad because it didn't show like honor to leave. Mm-hmm. But Stefan's like, well, he didn't believe in the values. We should respect that.
That's cool.
I like that.
Dad wants to fight the vamps. This dad, hell-bent, much like the founding fathers of this modern day in Mystic Falls, this dad is out to get the vamps.
Yes. These founding families have been out to get the vamps the whole time. From this original time in 1864, and they've still been trying to keep them away ever since.
I guess I can kind of see their point.
But when he tells Stefan and Damon about vampires, they're just like, oh, yeah, we'll help. They're not like, what?
Yeah.
Are you talking about? There's vampires?
Exactly.
You're insane. And that's probably how Dad knew that they knew a vampire already.
Yeah, and then he set him up.
Yeah.
He started weaving his ropey net.
They should have acted way more surprised.
Yeah, vampires?
I thought
those are the things of myth.
Yeah, that can be real. What are you talking about? We don't believe you. Prove it. Like anything.
They're just like, yeah.
We don't know any of those.
Yeah, I don't know anything about what Frank N. Stein is doing over in his barn. Damon, back to modern day. Damon hanging out with Aunt Jenna. Mm-hmm. Jenna thinks Logan is on a vacay.
Yeah, he's like, whatever happened to him? Was he missing? And she was like, no, he's just on vacation.
Do you think Damon put that thought into her mind? Or do you think there was another one of these emails? Remember that?
Yeah, I think it was the emails.
His emails. I said, was that a cajole? Just kidding. I said, was that a compel?
A compel. Yeah, they didn't ever show how Aunt Jenna knew that. So it could have been that Damon compelled her, and then he was just asking her to see what she would say.
Yeah.
Though,
you know what? He wouldn't have done that. If he had compelled her, he would have been like, I already know. Grinch smile.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Probably a Forbes email, Ash.
Yeah, I was thinking it's from
Forbes.
Share Forbes.
Forbes in this episode, right? But she's still pulling her puppet strings.
Yeah, definitely.
Alaric knows it was Damon that killed his wife. He saw it.
Mm-hmm. And he tells Stefan.
He wants answers. And I said, Stefan is always trying to help somebody. He doesn't need to help this guy. This guy, Alaric popped up, shot him with a stake. He doesn't need to...
But he sees Alaric as a nice guy, and his wife is dead, and Stefan's just like, well, don't tell Damon. Damon's going to kill you.
Oh, yeah.
If he finds out that if he finds out that you know that he's a vampire and he killed your wife, he's just going to kill you instead.
Yeah.
But Stefan's just like always trying to save people. He's just a good guy.
Only good vamp is a dead one, Ash. Just kidding. Catherine and Salvatore are playing croquet.
I know. We love croquet.
We do.
I grew up playing croquet with my dad's mom and their side of the family in Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. It was so fun.
Are you sure you weren't playing in Transylvania?
In 1864?
Mm-hmm. With Giuseppe?
Yeah, croquet is fun.
Croquet is great. I used to be in some intense croquet matches with my pastor and his family.
Mm-hmm. I played croquet with you like a month or two ago, and I had the most amazing shot.
You did.
I hit it from so far away and I won the game. It was awesome.
It's true. Put it on wax. The bros approach. Damon wants Stefan to keep the secret that Catherine is a vamp. Duh.
I know, but Stefan is like, well, we can trust him because he sees that like his dad is friends with Catherine. He thinks that he would spare her for some reason.
But maybe Giuseppe is keeping his enemies closer.
Yeah, he definitely is.
Oh, okay.
But Stefan is too naive and sweet to be like, let's just, it'll be fine. Damon's like, no way. And so this is the point of contention between Stefan and Damon's whole relationship is that Stefan wasn't supposed to tell his dad, and we find out later he sort of does in a roundabout way. Mm-hmm. And so Damon's just mad at him for 162 years for getting Catherine locked in the tomb.
Wow.
He's mad.
He mad.
Forever mad.
Damon and Jeremy back in the present playing video games. How do you feel about that?
It's silly.
Mm-hmm. That's it. Jenna thinks Damon is hot, but Elena said he's an ass.
I like the scene because Damon's listening,
mm-hmm.
and he's like reacting without turning around to what they're saying, and he's like, oh, she thinks I'm hot, and he's smiling, and then she's like, yeah, but he's an ass, and then he's like, oh. Mm-hmm. That's funny. Some levity to this episode.
You know what? If you're going to have some spooky moments that aren't actually scary, mm-hmm. you got to have some laughs, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're having some drama, you need some laughs in there. Ben and Bonnie go on a date.
Yep.
They did karaoke.
They did karaoke like they had talked about.
Mm-hmm. They foreshadowed that, and then
they just talked about
shadowed it.
Yeah.
We didn't get to see the karaoke.
No, that's okay. We don't need to see karaoke.
They didn't need to spend the money on licensing the songs, you know?
No, they're just chatting in the grill.
Mm-hmm. Damon thinks there's something weird about Alaric. And then everyone grills Jeremy on the journal. Where's the journal? I want the journal.
Yeah, so Jeremy just like casual, like, oh yeah, I gave it to Mr. Saltzman, and everyone's like, skirt, and then all crowd around him and like ask him a gajillion questions. And he's like, and he's still playing his video game, like, whoa, it's not a big deal. You guys are crazy.
And he's
like, oh, who else do you show it to? Anna.
And he still hasn't
meet her at the grill.
Come to terms with where's Vicky. He just
he's just chilling.
Where's my parents? And Jeremy then meets up with Anna. Stefan has Alaric's copy of the journal. Lots going on in this ep, Ash. Lots of jumping around.
Yeah, there is a lot of jumping around.
Yeah. They're moving. This is episode 13. We got a 22 ep season, right?
Yeah, I read actually that if it didn't get a full pickup, that this would have been the season finale.
Whoa. Be a bad season finale because it'd just be like too much stuff is going on. No answers at all.
I know, and then you'd be like, all right, season 2, excited.
Ah, season 2.
Right.
Got it.
That's series finale.
Oh, phew. Phew. Giuseppe Salvatore has a journal too, Ash.
Everyone has a journal.
This is like another one of the diaries about vampires, not by vampires. Stefan confronts his dad about not killing the vamps. Do you know any of the vamps?
Yeah,
Giuseppe says.
Yeah, well, Stefan has a good point. He's like, how do you know they're all bad?
Those who stand with the vamps will be destroyed, Giuseppe says.
And while they're having this conversation, Giuseppe pours some whiskey for Stefan.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, and Stefan's a young man. Mm-hmm. He's getting some young sips. Damon chokes out Anna in her hotel room. Ooh. Anna used Logan. The Fells had a journal. All these people had journals, Ash.
What else were they doing?
I guess they were like MySpaces in the 1800s, these journals.
Yeah. They needed to share their thoughts somehow.
MySpaces. Grimoire. Mm-hmm. Grimoire. That's a grimoire. The grimoire is in Giuseppe's grave with him?
Yeah, because he said that he was going to let this die with him. He would take it to the grave.
Literally.
And then they were like, oh, it's in his grave.
You know, you could say, I'm going to take it to my grave and then burn the thing, and then that means that just the knowledge dies with you. Like, you could do it an analogy.
It's usually when someone says, I'll take it to the grave, it is an analogy. Yeah. But he was like, no. I'm going to actually bury it with me.
Yeah. Stefan should have been like, my dad was very literal. Catherine biting Stefan. And then his dad gave him.
I know they had a sexy moment, Catherine and Stefan. And
she was H for B.
Yeah, you're like, oh man, this is getting good. And she bites his neck, and we're like, oh, what's happening? Is he going to turn to a vamp? Whatever. And then she is poisoned. She's like, for Vane. And then Giuseppe's like, we knew it.
Yeah, so when Stefan did that to Damon a couple of eps ago, the oldest trick in the book, Ash.
Mm-hmm. It's been around.
Giuseppe set him up. As a parent, will you set up your own son like that?
I hope not in that particular scenario.
Yeah. Bonnie kisses Ben and immediately knows he's a vamp.
Right, but I'm like, does Ben know that she's a witch this whole time and he's still hanging with her?
Oh, Ben is a dummy.
But why was he trying to get close to Bonnie?
I think Anna told him to.
Because she knew where the journal was, or just to keep Bonnie busy? They weren't really clear about that. Because if they knew she was a witch, then I could see why they would want to get closer so they could find out where the grimoire was.
Yeah.
But then Bonnie is also a witch.
Yeah. I think they know that type of stuff. That Bonnie, she knows all, and then she's like, let's go get a caffeine buzz, lol.
Yeah, then she tries to leave, and then he catches up with her.
Yeah, so she leaves, and Ben's just sitting there like, but then Bonnie turns the corner, and then he's like, that was funny. I didn't expect that.
I like those surprise scenes where...
Yeah, because I'm like, this dummy's just sitting there. He doesn't know anything. And then I was like, wait, he does. He zoomed over there. He whooshed over there.
Mm-hmm. Lots of whooshing.
They dig up the grave, get the book from Dad's skeleton.
Yeah, and Stefan looked kind of sad seeing his dad's skeleton. Mm-hmm. Which, that's appropriate.
Yeah.
You would be a little sad.
Yeah. Not every day you see your dad's skeleton.
I like when Stefan shows his emotions as his character.
He's an emotional guy. He's very in touch.
Well, vampires have heightened emotions.
Damon arrives. He's mad.
He's super mad.
Okay, Ash. This might just be across the board, every single television show everywhere of all time. Mm-hmm. But this show has so many scenes where people are doing stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And then people walk up.
Yes.
And then they interact. Is that every show? I feel like there's sometimes that's not the case. Like people are doing stuff already and you just see a piece of that. But this show's bread and butter is like someone's doing something, someone walks in, oh, you're here. Like, usually in kind of screenwriting, you cut that stuff out. Like, you get into the action. Mm-hmm. It's not like what propels the whole thing is someone walks up and is like, hello.
Yeah, I guess it does happen that a lot. Well, yeah. And then Stefan and Elena are busted because they have the grimoire. And Stefan and Damon's like, you promised me that we were going to do this together. I trusted you. And then Stefan's like, well, you're here by yourself. You were going to do it by yourself anyways. And he's like, yeah, because I couldn't trust you. See? Look what you're doing.
Yeah, they're both kind of like, see? Mm-hmm. But Damon's feelings are hurt, Ash.
I know. And Elena, you can tell, feels really bad because she lied straight to Damon's face like just a few hours ago. Yeah. And he was like, tell me, can I trust him? She's like, sure, yeah, And he's like, no. And she thought he was compelling her, and he was like, I'm not compelling you, I'm just asking you, like, should I trust him? She said, and she lies straight to his face. So now their friendship is messed up, and Damon is sad and mad.
Damon says he'll turn Elena.
Yeah. He knows exactly what to say to Stefan.
Yeah, and Stefan believes him, and he says, you did the one thing that ensures I'll give you the book.
Yeah, because he feeds Elena his vampire blood.
Yeah, these bros know each other. Mm-hmm. That's tough for each other.
Yeah, they know how to set each other off.
The townsfolk going to get Catherine. Catherine has the vampire muzzle on. Mm-hmm. Damon is mad at Stefan in both time frames. Mm-hmm. Jeez Louise, that's
because
tough.
He couldn't trust him either time.
Stefan let Damon down.
I know. And Stefan even says like it was his fault.
But he was doing the right thing in quotation marks, Stefan?
Well, I don't think Stefan was, and he wasn't like, hey, Dad, I have a friend named Catherine, and she's a vampire. Can we spare her? He was just trying to be roundabout and like trying to convince his dad otherwise without actually telling him. So I feel like Stefan thought that he was still being true to Damon, but it turned out to be the worst scenario for Catherine. And that's why Damon was mad. And in this time, in the current time period, he just straight up is lying.
Hey, so Jeremy invites vampires into his house like it's his part-time job, man.
I know. That's because he has no idea about vampires.
He invited Anna in.
And he had invited the pizza guy in.
Jonathan Gilbert finds out that Pearl... Okay, so this is like the wrap-up. Like, a lot of things are happening all at once. Jonathan Gilbert finds out Pearl is a vamp.
Yeah. And they had like a little... They were interested in each other. They were crushing on each other before he knew she was a vampire.
He looks a little bit like Jared Leto.
Mm-hmm. It's so sad because Pearl's like, please, Jonathan, spare me. Don't say anything. And you're like, what's going to happen?
And they shoot her.
And then he's like, we got another one.
I know, that's crazy.
Oh, so sad.
Emily Bennett says she's going to protect Pearl.
Yes.
And then we jump back to the present day, 2009, Mystic Falls. Mm-hmm. Stefan runs upstairs. Elena is gone.
Yeah. Well, he finds out that Anna was at the house. And then...
Yeah.
And then Stefan's like, oh, no. Goes up. I thought she's gone, which is so scary because Elena has vampire blood in her system for at least 24 hours. And so if she dies with vampire blood in her system, she becomes a vampire.
Yeah.
Scary.
It is scary. Not scary like a thing. It's not like a horror movie or something. No. But just like intense.
Well, I mean, is that your last note? Because I wanted to ask you, what's your Pete-diction for next episode? Like, do you think she's going to be turned into a vampire? What?
No.
They're definitely setting it up like she is.
Overall, okay, to answer your short-term Pete-diction, no, she's not going to be a vampire in next episode. And also, I think that if she becomes a vampire, that is going to be the last episode of season 8 or whatever. Like, it'll be like, we've done all this stuff, and then now I'm going to commit and blah, 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 blah. But I don't see Catherine as a vamp. I see more... If something's going to happen, there's going to be a Stefan sacrifice. Mm-hmm. I don't see Catherine and Stefan living as vamps vampily ever after.
It's funny. But they also talk about how Catherine was such a terrible person or vampire or whatever. And
No. Oh, I'm talking about Elena the whole time.
Oh, you said Catherine the last
I know.
part.
Okay, wait, what was your question?
I thought you were saying two different things.
No.
Okay, you don't think that Stefan and Elena are going to live vampily ever after?
Correct.
Okay.
So you erase everything I just said about Catherine and put Elena in there. It is played by the same friggin' actress, okay?
I know, it's so confusing. All right, but then here's another question. So Stefan kept being like, we don't want to release all the vampires from the tomb because, first of all, that's too many vampires. And they don't want to have all that shenanigans. But also he always talks about how Catherine is so terrible and Elena's nothing like her and blah, blah, blah. But from these flashbacks, you really think that she's like such a terrible vamp?
Catherine in the past?
Yeah.
She's wildin' for sure. Hey, Ash.
Do you think it's a bad idea for them to release her from the tomb?
Hell yeah. She'll go crazy. All right, but here's my Pete-diction for the series finale.
Okay.
All right. Somehow, Stefan has become mortal.
Okay.
And Elena, okay? Mm-hmm. Stefan and Elena. Stefan's become mortal. Mm-hmm. And he finally gets to be with Elena. Mm-hmm. And they're going to get to live their lives together. Maybe she's pregnant or something like that. Mm-hmm. Damon has freed Catherine. Mm-hmm. And Stefan and Elena and Damon and Catherine, they have to use some camera tricks, Ash, because Dobrev plays both. Mm-hmm. No, but they, Damon and Stefan kind of do like a bro pound. Mm-hmm. And like Damon and Catherine go one way, maybe back to Nolans. And then Stefan and Elena go another way. Mm-hmm. Never to meet again. Like Stefan and Elena's like, all right, we're gonna just grow old together now. Mm-hmm. Have this little baby Giuseppe Jr. And then Damon and Catherine are like, all right, well, we're gonna go rip it up in Nolans. but we're not going to mess with you guys anymore. Love you. Went through this whole 8 seasons. Peace out. We're not going to mess with you guys. And Stephanie's like, all right, cool.
All right. There it is, folks.
Yep. It's probably exactly what happens, by the way. How many fangs, Ash?
2 fangs.
2 fangs. She loves it. She gives 2 fangs for the screenshot of the bros in their suits in 1862.
They look so cute. I just love the flashbacks. I love getting all like the background information and the history and all that. I like it a lot.
I think
and there's good kissing.
some good kissing, some good sheet transitions.
Some good vamp stuff with Catherine. It was good.
Some vamp-splaining, living vampily ever after. I do like the muzzle. Very Saw-esque. I'm going 1.5 though, Ash.
Okay.
It wasn't hitting 100% for me.
Fair enough.
I want to be compelled by an episode. I want to be sitting on the couch after the episode like, if I didn't have Vervain in my system, that would have really worked.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm glad you're liking it. That's good.
Yeah, we're having fun. We're having a good time.
Mm-hmm. Excited to watch the next one.
Heck yeah. S1E14, Ash.
Mm-hmm.
If you like the Vampire Diaries and or you are a young adult, you should check out my young adult book series, The Happenstances, at tinyurl.com/thehappenstances. For any questions or concerns, follow me at Peter L. Harmon on Twitter or Instagram. Ash isn't Twitter. Ash doesn't tweet, and she's private on Instagram. If you have something to say to her that isn't weird, I'll tell her. Or email anything about the show. Frank, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for sending in this week.
Love you, Frank.
The happenstances at gmail.com. But don't tweet spoilers, or you will get muted, not blocked. I need the follower count. And if you love the show, please leave us a review. Go to ratethispodcast.com/Vampedi, all one word, Vampedi, and follow the instructions. But also, if you're listening to pods, you should know how to rate a pod by now.
Yeah.
Click that 5 stars.
Yeah. Do it.
All right. Until next week.
Bye.